Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 3, part 2-ish. Okay, so let's see. Where we left off, you guys had spoken to the Volus, found out generally what it is that you're going to be doing for their clan. Did you write down the clan name, Ollie?
You know, you kind of need to say it when you're not speaking through your hands, so I can write it down.
Get used to it, Ollie.
I know I need to get you. That's why I didn't catch it the first time, and it was like way clearer then.
Yeah. So, we're going to, you
You're
guys...
gonna tell me?
No.
Okay.
You're leaving you hanging, man.
I'm going to leave you hanging. So
Whatever.
You're gonna have to,
All volus are volus, I guess.
You're gonna have to try to figure it out. So no, I'll give it to you shortly. So you guys are finish up what you need to do on the Vesuvius. So what you find out is that the way that you're going to be going to complete this mission is you're going to be heading there to you're going to be heading there to the to go follow after the ship or wherever doing your investigation on the actual Stalingrad itself, which means you're going to continue flying underneath the command of Captain Daxton, of course.
Daxton and Peyton.
And under the command of Peyton himself. So you guys are going to be stuck with that, unfortunately, for some time, and that's going to make for a little abrasive ness on the actual
That's great.
bridge itself. But you have the backing of the captain. Whether or not that's known publicly, who knows? But you have the backing of the captain, and you know...
There's a little more respect in me for that man now.
Absolutely. So when you guys more or less what you're going to find out is you're going to be heading back to the bridge. So you're going to be heading back to that ship to fly out. But you're not going to be able to do so for a little bit of time while they're repairing the ship. It's actually going to be a few more weeks' time. So there's a gap of time where you guys can kind of spend time doing whatever it is that you want to do. Going around, hanging out with people, training, blah, 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 blah. All sorts of things that you can do. One of the most important things that you're going to be able to find out is Rookie. When Ward had gone to the ship and pulled up the information that she did off of the bridge into Carmine, when you grabbed everything off those packages, I imagine you immediately turned over that information to the Alliance, yes?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd send a full report with like my findings and experiences on the ship and whatnot to better help us figure out what Vola ships are like, just for future reference. You know, if we do get into further actions with them, that sort of thing.
So the
That's smart.
Yeah, of course. And so the briefing that you're going to get we'll be doing shortly. So just very quickly, what are we going to say that your characters were doing, just again, briefly, during that gap of time? Something that they would have been working on or cared about. And holy crap! 0 kilobytes per second. No! Stupid Comcast!
Are we down?
No, we're back now. We skipped for a second. Stupid Comcast. If this continues to jump like this, I will say lots of cuss words on the phone to Comcast again, but it looks like we've leveled out. All right, so anyways, we had the huge storm in New England last night, so I imagine some areas are trying to fix, and so it's causing fluctuations. Moving on. What would you be doing, Rookie, during that gap of time? Anything that you'd be working on? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
It's gonna happen at least
It's in a really
once.
awkward spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Literally,
It happens.
it's in line with where my desk is, so keep hitting it. Anyway, so after sending like a full report of me twiddling on that and getting the Batarians down, I would have worked on a full proper report. She likes to be precise.
Mm-hmm.
She would have actually trained a bit better for close combat.
Oh, sure.
And she would have been working on that. She's a bit of a perfectionist. So the fact that she almost got her ass absolutely handed to her on a silver platter, she tried to just absolutely train her ass off. So that's what she's been doing the whole time. Literally, she's persistent.
So what you were able to do on the Vesuvius is one of the trainers on this Vesuvius is actually somebody that engaged in the First Contact War, which is only about 7 years ago, and actually had to get into a ground skirmish with the Taurians, with Taurian ground troops. This is somebody that actually fought against Taurians first-hand combat, and has seen the way that they fight, and has so gone back to their own place where they've learned martial arts and they've learned their MAC and all that stuff like that, that, and has to change their own style to adjust for the fact that you're not just dealing with other humans anymore with fighting. And so he's been able to use the Alliance military to pull in all sorts of data of the fighting of the combat styles of other races as well. And so using that, he's altered his own martial arts form to teach him to be better in fighting non-human combatants on the ground. And so because of all of that, he's mastered this whole new form. You've been able to contact that person, get into one of his classes, and train like a motherfucker to be significantly better at ground combat. You've actually leveled up between last session and this one, and you've acquired a whole bunch of new abilities. And the ability that you choose to take this one is close combat, which is amazing. It allows you to do some seriously kick-ass stuff in melee range with weapons and without. So
yeah, the most important part, is it okay for me to mention this about
please,
close combat?
Please.
The most important part that I absolutely cried over was you ignore shock damage from melee assailants, even if unarmored. And I was like, if I only had that last time. Yeah. I would also get my meta gel back that I used.
Yep, awesome. And Rick, what were you doing in the interim during that gap of time?
I would probably be splitting my time once again after, of course, filing a complete report as well, because I basically took command. Oh, I'm definitely going back to requisitions, and I will turn in my promise at the firing range.
Yeah!
Carmine's the man of his word. He will put on display. But first, he will fill out a full report, putting his experiences on the ship there, recommendations for like further boarding actions if need be, He's got experience with that, so he knows what they'd be looking for. And then I would be splitting my time between the med bay. Once again, I want to learn a bit more about what makes humans stay alive. He'd pick up a med kit at some point as well, so he can tend to wounds when they're not in the direness of combat. And I would also go to the firing range, because I imagine they have a lot of stuff on the ship here that we don't have on the Stalingrad.
Absolutely.
And after, of course, fulfilling my promise to the guy, I will show off for you for that thermal clip, I will then practice with a shotgun for a while.
Okay.
Just in case.
So one of the first things I want to go over is the preciseness of your reports that you put in there and everything that you do. It's actually, and you spend so much time in the med bay that one of the higher ups in the medical area, they actually are kind of curious about you, and so they kind of go delving into your profile and everything, and they realize that you are actually, despite the fact that you come off as this dumb grunt, I just like to kill shit. What can I say? I'm good at shooting. If it moves, it ain't moving no more. You come off as this dumb grunt, but they realize that you're actually just really dedicated to your task. And if that task happens to be killing things, you're damn good at it. If that task is filling out a report, you're damn good at it. And you're spending so much time in the medical area that they actually start, instead of you kind of popping down there and asking questions, why don't you go over there, and they start giving you direction, and you start learning a lot of things while you're there, and you get a lot of intense training. It's funny actually, because the kind of training that you're getting, they eventually kind of take you and put you into a couple of the medical classes that are there, so you can get very formal training on what you're supposed to be doing for triage and whatnot, allowing you to unlock the abilities that you acquired coming to second level. However, you also spend a ton of time in the shooting range. You spend time at the range of that guy that was kind of and you have fun with him. So I'm gonna have you make me a check for in 1 second for that. And you go down there, you have fun at the range, and you do an incredible job allowing you to just get fucking badass with the shotgun, right? So do me a favor and roll for me a what you're probably trying to show off with what gun? Your assault rifle?
Yeah, I did promise him that.
Okay, so with an assault rifle skill check, and we're going to use the attribute you're going to use with your assault rifle skill check will be we're going to go with an intelligence one, because this is not an actual combat. Yeah, you're trying to show off.
That's fine. Ooh,
you rolled garbage. So it's funny, because you're down there and you're trying to show this guy a few things, and he's like, were you all drinking last night, buddy? What's up with this? And more or less, he wasn't very impressed with the time at the shooting range, and he actually feels a little slighted, oh, I thought you were trying to show me some stuff, and instead you had half your heart into it. But that's okay, even though he's the requisitions officer here on the Vesuvius, and you were able to use the shotgun. You were able to use shotguns for practice and whatnot. Are you going to try to go back to Julie to get your shotgun?
I probably would, yeah. Like this guy, I just failed horribly in front of him. Like my pride is slighted as well. Like I know I can do better. I'm having a bad day, and you know, I'm just going to eat it, and I'm not gonna try my luck any further with him. So I'll go back to Julia on the Stalingrad at some point.
Absolutely.
I'll
With
see
this
how
one,
she's doing.
we're doing a trade charisma check, is what we're allowing you to do to try to convince her to requisition you a shotgun.
It's gonna go horribly again, probably.
And
Oh.
oh my god, that is absolute garbage. Oh, at least it's not double ones. So you go up to her and you're asking her once again, you're like, oh, can I? And she just shoots you down. Sorry, can't do that. You have to get a letter from a commanding officer telling you that you're allowed to have it. It has to be from an officer, not an NCO. I know how close you've been getting, rubbing elbows with Rockwell. Nope. Not a good one. And you're sitting there like, I hate that bastard. but that's what she says to you and completely shoots you down. Ollie, what was your character doing? You were just kind of spending time chatting, weren't you?
Spending time sending emails, working on a specialized computer virus.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly these guys wouldn't see me around.
At all.
I imagine with other pilots, I would have been around because Rockwell is very social. He's just an asshole. He's that kind of guy that would go to like every meeting, but just people are like, I hope Rockwell doesn't show up today, right?
Every meeting he's allowed to go to, he just shows up in.
Yeah, but writing a lot of emails, writing a lot of using a lot of encrypted channels, and writing a personalized computer virus that I imagine at least once you actually would have tested with Carmine, because like you understand guns better than me. Mm-hmm. And so basically, the long story short, this is the sabotage ability where I can hack people's guns and make them overheat, right? So I would be.
I wouldn't let you try it on any of my weapons.
No, it would be like take that one from their like requisitions box. So it's like half broken. I think that would be reasonable. But yeah, that would be mostly it.
So just so everybody knows what the sabotage ability is once per scene, he can activate something that literally just instantly overheats the weapons, meaning that they cannot be used for a couple rounds, which is like more or less they just run out of ammunition. Like, and it's amazing because it allows for you to engage in melee much, or at least close gaps much safer. And it's in a short, I think it's 2 or 3 meter burst where it affects. All right, so. But one other thing, you're definitely going to have to meet up with the crew because shortly before you guys are hopping back on the Stalingrad, the repairs are made and you're able to continue making your way forward. A message gets sent through to you, Ollie, from an unknown sender. And it's one of those things where you're like, oh, I don't know whose message this is. And you kind of like try to trace it back, but it's bounced off of so many pinged ways that you can't trace back who that message came from. But it's a message that more or less just says, think what you're doing is great. Appreciate all of the work. Keep it up. And then it's like a file. And when you open up, you can see that it's a wire transfer to a joint account, each one of you having equal share to it, for 25,000 credits. 25,000 credits come from. You have no clue where. You have no idea where they came from, why they came there. But there are 25,000 credits there that are on a joint account for the 3 of you to access. And so you're kind of looking at that and you're like, you combine that with the fact that each of you just made, what was it? I think, hold on, what level are you? 2, and what rank? So you guys each just made, I think Ollie, you were 6, right? All your 600 credits, and they made 550 credits each. So on top of that, you guys share 25,000 credits come your way. So you're sitting there going, and I know the first thing that Carmine's thinking, fuck requisitions, I'm buying my own shotgun.
So that literally would be like, Rockwell would, as soon as he gets this, like, message him like, keep this under your hat, but I have an anonymous source that has wired us a bunch of money. And I would go to, like, Carmine and be like, get the heaviest weapons you need. Get what you need. I want us all to survive. And then
have to tell him
we
twice.
start. Scott, can you just give us, like, a handout we can all edit that has the amount of money in? So we can just be like, tick it down?
Yep, I can gladly do that for you. Just a simple handout.
Just make sure we can all edit it.
Yep. Give me 1 second. I just want to tell you how much a shotgun costs for you.
I wanted to look up how much Medigel was so I can buy a bunch more of it.
So your
Remind me,
shotgun,
how much is it, Ollie, when you find it?
your shotgun is going to be, I think it's 1,600 credits for it.
What? That's nothing.
No, it's 1,600.
I mean, I'm fine with
So
it. Don't get me
exactly,
wrong.
Like, that is a ridiculous amount of money.
It
you
is
know.
it is so much money that
I
you
can
just
actually
acquired.
buy like all the things. I was like, oh, that would be useful one day.
That thing is literally going to be priceless with the amount of lives it will save,
So
Oh, yeah.
especially after leveling up.
here's the question. He said get the biggest weapon that you can get your hands on. You would have to check for whether or not you're allowed to carry it. So that's going to have to be one of you guys have to make a talk check to make sure that this is allowed. But you could theoretically get your hands on, say, a heavy machine gun, which is not something that you just easily carry around. It's like you mount it, or
For
a rocket
curiosity's
launcher.
sake, what kind of skill check would that use?
For a heavy machine gun, it would be based off of your assault rifle, but with a penalty. Yeah, it's because it doesn't generally do like an attack roll. It doesn't do a general attack roll. It just does damage in an area, and people, if they don't have cover, take damage. That's just the way it goes. They make saves, they make evasion checks against it. Same thing with a rocket launcher. You know what I mean? And they do incredible amounts of damage. So those are options for you if you wanted to try to check out those kind of a thing. But you don't have to necessarily spend all of the money right now if you don't want to, or you can totally spend all the money right now.
Absolutely would be buying Metagel, and I want to buy a toolkit for like general repairs.
Sure.
Which is 300, but
Yep.
yeah, I need to. I'm stocking up how much money
There's
I'm spending
also
right now.
modifications you can do to your weapons too. So like, let's
Oh,
say,
where's that?
Oh,
let's
yeah.
say, rookie, let's say you wanted to put a different scope on your gun. So if you're shooting somebody that is, say, because you can't shoot closer than, what is it, 50 meters? I think it is, or something like that, or 30 meters. You can't shoot closer than 30 meters. You could put like a scope on your gun. So if somebody's like greater than 100 meters away, it'll give you +1 to your attack roll. There's all sorts of different things that you can do. You tell me the modifications you want to make, and I'll tell you the cost for them. Because holy shit, that's money.
Scott.
That seems like quite a good idea, though.
You could expand the clip. What's up, Ollie?
What are the rules on drones?
Oh yeah, you can get
Because
your hands
there
on.
are
Yeah,
drones in
yeah.
Mass Effect.
absolutely. You can get your hands on drones. Sure.
Oh, Rockwell is definitely in. Let me just spend some time on this section of the PDF.
Yeah. That's page 82, I believe it is. And so, I mean, you can literally talk to your friends and be like, so what is it, a PAX drone? I don't exactly know what it does, but you can be like,
Drones are the most second most expensive ones. I think that might be a bit much. I mean, that would just raise suspicions, right? Getting that much.
I mean, it most certainly would be. People would be asking questions of the fact that you're suddenly able to acquire these things. It's up
Wouldn't
to
go
you.
that far.
It's up to you. If you want to go balls to the wall and spend it, you're welcome to do it.
I need to look and compare for a bit. I didn't even know this was part of the page right now. But like, I can do this while we're doing other stuff, right?
Not a problem. You go right ahead. Don't forget
Give
about
us that handout.
Don't forget about the drone fittings on the next page
Yeah.
down. Okay, Rookie, was there anything that you wanted to get your hands on?
I'm just having a look now. I do quite like the idea of getting that, that advanced range. Because I feel like that's something. I mean, anything that would upgrade the sniper rifle is something that Lena would want to be doing. Anything to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
That's what her primary focus would be. She wouldn't be interested about like anything else. It would be sniper rifle first.
So one of the things that you could also do is, because there are the weapons that are provided by the Alliance military, the ones that you guys are currently holding, right? So one of the things that you can do is you can technically hold other weapons. You can own personal weapons and carry them with you if you get permission to do so. So you can always go out and purchase, say, a sniper rifle designed by an Asari, as opposed to a sniper rifle, or by the Torians, as opposed to a human one, and then get permission to carry it with you on mission. You can do the same thing with a pistol if you wanted to as well, Rookie, because you can get one that says upgraded damage or whatever. Carmine, I don't know if you're interested in getting your hands on what you want. I imagine you're just seeing grenades everywhere.
I'd definitely go for the shotgun and try to get permission to carry that with me on on missions rather.
You
And then
instantly have permission for that, no question.
Sweet.
Because that assuming it's a standard issue Alliance military shotgun, you're going to buy it for the 1600, and you're going to be able to walk around with that, no question.
Yeah, okay. I'd also probably get my medkit from the shared fund.
Absolutely.
And then I'd probably look at weapon modifications or something that might make me do a bit more damage. Like the shotgun could maybe use a bit more clip size. I'd probably look for damage or something on the.
Oh, sure, because I think the
assault
shotgun
rifle.
can do, what is it, 2 shots before it overheats? Is that what it was? On the PDF, did we check?
Yep.
Let me go back. I don't know if you checked really quickly. I can right now.
I did, yeah. It has 2
Is
ammo
it 2
by
shots? Okay, sure.
Yep.
So you want to get an expanded one. So if you wanted to do 3 shots before it overheats, I'll gladly do that one. I will tell you that will cost you 1,000 credits because that is a major upgrade.
Default. Done.
Yeah, cool.
I would like a knife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. You've got yourself a knife. Call that a knife? No, that's a knife. Now, it's actually kind of funny because you just got a lot of martial arts training, rookie. Did you get weapons training? Oh, you got Omniblade. Did you train with the Omniblade or no?
No, I have the Omni too.
No, I know that. But I'm saying, did you get training in that for a skill? Omniblade, you were not trained in melee combat for that kind of stuff. You're trained in unarmed combat.
Yeah.
So you can
That's
get yourself
true.
you can get yourself a knife. You can also get yourself like an enhancement to the like your gloves, so you get like shock.
That might be better.
Yeah, like shock mitts thrown
Yeah.
on. So what those would end up doing is, so your unarmed damage becomes 1d4 plus strength. Is what those will be. If you prefer dexterity, you can do dexterity instead. So 1d4 plus dex. And what it does is it does an electronic impulse and it hits the person. The downside to the shock gloves is the shock actually hurts shields. Whereas your hand, you know what I mean, because it's not a bladed weapon, you actually be shocking down people's shields. The plus side is, while the shock damage is 1d4 to the opponent, it's 1d10 to their shields. So
Right.
it makes things a little wonky when you're inside melee. Any other
There's
questions,
something
you guys?
to help. So what would Lena do? What would I have to do to get my hands on a Turian sniper rifle?
Well, you have some time left on the Vesuvius. You would more or less go into the extranet and do like an Amazon search to see if you could find one. Like as I said beforehand, you guys flew into Citadel space, so you could have landed on the Citadel and purchased one there. Walked around at shops, looked on the extranet, found somebody that had one for sale. Whatever it is that you want to do. I mean, it's 100% up to you guys. This is all players, can be edited by all players. Description notes is just 1,000. Sorry, 25,000, not 1,000. And what was that? 83333 or whatever it is each. So 8, and you guys can update this yourself for how much you've spent. There you go. You have a mysterious note there for each of you to kind of look at. All right, so anyways, would you want to go shopping? In which case, what you're going to do to find one is you're going to be making for me a trade. You're going to be making for me, you can either do, if you're going to be searching on the extranet for deals, it's going to be a trade intelligence. If you're going to be walking around, trying to find a shop that sells a decent one, trade wisdom. If you're going to be, and then when you're finally purchasing one, it's going to be a charisma. So intelligence or wisdom to find one.
I'm gonna walk around. I mean, it makes no difference. My intelligence and my wisdom is exactly the same.
So you just like the idea of stretching your legs on the
I feel like that's what she would do. She's not really. She likes computers, like to hack them, but she's like, why would I do my online shopping when I could just go talk to people?
Cool. So why don't you make for me your trade wisdom check, please?
Ugh. Oh, that's not mine wit. Ugh, that's not good.
Oh, that's absolute garbage.
Oh.
Yeah. I was looking at the
Welcome to
three, but-
my world.
Yeah. So what you do is you go walking around and you're trying to find get your hands on a decent sniper rifle, and you do so for a while, and you spend like the better part of the bigger day that you have to do this, your short time, walking after you've received the money, trying to find this thing, and you're like, I don't know, can I find it? You know, walking around, you do find a handful of sniper rifles, and you're like, oh wow, this looks like a great deal, and you go over and you look at it, and either you're like, holy fuck, this is garbage. Why would anybody ever sell this? I thought this was an advanced society. Or you're like, oh my god, this is absolutely amazing. How much is this for? 100,000 credits? Fuck off. and you walk away, and you're not able to strike a bargain that you'd like. So because of the fact that you spent your better day trying to find it and failing, you're able to make one more check this time and force you to use the intelligence one to search the extranet, kind of like staying up late one night with your feet up on the wall, playing on your tablet, try to find one.